Alright, today we're here on the public test server of patch 8.0 for Space Marine 2 to talk about the problems with the Assault class. Now, the Assault has been a much maligned class, and rightfully so, pretty much since the game came out, because he simply struggles more where other classes do not, especially versus Chaos, and especially solo Chaos. This class really is just the worst class for Chaos, and in the current new Siege mode, or the Horde mode, you have to fight both Chaos and Tyranids no matter what. He has no option to pick just Tyranids on this. That might change in the future. As of right now, that is simply how it is, and he is the worst class for Chaos. He's going to have an unfun time, and really, this class is overdue some serious buffs, in my opinion. I made a video about him a while back, talking about some of the problems with him. Only a few of the problems have been changed. He does have things like Adrenaline Boost now. They gave him Unyielding Oath this patch, but really, these are just like band-aid solutions, and I think this guy is overdue like a proper fat buff. Because really, to make this guy OP, you would have to give him like a double power level, because at the moment, he is just not that strong versus Chaos, and really, even against Tyranids, he's good. He's definitely good versus Tyranids. It's just that he is not better than like Tactical, Bulwark, Sniper, or Heavy, especially Heavy. Heavy's Heavy Plasma pretty much blows Assault's entire class out of the water. It's honestly embarrassing how good this class is compared to Assault, and I just want to talk about why this class struggles so much. And the biggest issue with him, especially versus Chaos, is that the contested health recovery on this class overall sucks, and melee weapon contested health recovery in this game is abysmal. The only one that is even half decent is the Chainsword with swift recovery, and all the other ones are bad or outright bugged. The Thunderhammer, for the longest time, this may be fixed, but it's Aftershock. The second hit of Aftershock improved would give you no contested health recovery, and it's just little things like that that turn him into like a little execute monkey that has to like fire off his Falco Punch with Power Fist versus Chaos, because I have gotten to this guy true solo to like wave 16 plus, fought triple Hellbrutes with him, and the way we did that was by corner camping with a Power Fist, and let me tell you, it's not fun. It is not a fun build to use, and really, his perks are pretty much only set up to be useful versus Tyranids because he is a Gunstrike monkey. This guy needs Gunstrikes to get his contested HP back, and if he's not getting Gunstrikes, he's going to have to use like a ground pound to execute. And versus Tyranids, this is pretty easy to do. You can use like your Wings of Flame, you can use your Armor Reinforcement, but if he can't do this, he is left in the water without a boat. And really, there's nothing he can do except to blow them up with Melta Bombs and spam executes, and that just doesn't feel very good to play. And really, it seems their design philosophy in this game is that the ranged weapons are supposed to be your primary weapon to get your contested health back, and melee weapons are like a little secondary bonus. I just think this is like a really stupid design, especially when you're going to give like two classes only secondary weapons. And for Bulwark, this is not too bad, because unlike Assault, the Bulwark has damage reduction on top of damage reduction on top of damage reduction on top of slower contested health fading. So his 50% reduction to contested health fade means that his plasma pistol has an easier time getting his CHP back, and if you're not taking this, you have passive armor regeneration and stuff like that, or more damage reduction, and you can also get your HP back on this class. So he does not struggle like at all versus Chaos, primarily because he also has an entire shield, and lo and behold, if you give this guy a Thunderhammer, he suddenly also becomes bad versus Chaos. How coincidental. And Assault is pretty much Bulwark versus Chaos, but worse, because he just gets shit on. And that's like the best way to put it, to be honest. The hardest solo runs for this game are all on Assault versus Chaos for a reason, because he just struggles the most. It's the hardest content in the game. Triple Hellbrute versus Assault is simply the hardest content that Space Marine 2's vanilla game has to offer currently. And I don't really think that's a hot take to say. It just sucks. It is unfun. There's like single-digit runs of it on the internet for a reason, because who the fuck wants to do that? Let's be real. Now, as far as his perks are concerned, I feel like some of his signature perks just need a total rework. Ascension, this is a terrible perk. There's no reason to ever take this. And honestly, even though Ample Ammunition gives you a 50% increased range damage bonus, Commitment with like Wings of Flame, or just Commitment on its own, using your jump pack dash is so important, especially now with the like sheer amount of enemies in siege mode you'll be fighting, that not having Wings of Flame is such a detriment that like your only other option is really just like, okay, you're gonna use Wings of Flame with Commitment, or you can use Commitment with the Zealous Blow, because the alternative is you're gimped. And that's like the best way to put it, is that like you pretty much just have to be slamming into hordes or be spamming your Wings of Flame dodge, and that is just not useful versus Chaos, because all of his perks, all of his refund perks with things like Jetpack Dash, with things like Zealous Blow, which is a ground pound kill, restores jump packs charged by 10%. These all function substantially worse on Chaos than they do Tyranids. And especially his best defensive perk in this game is Armor Reinforcement. Non-finisher Gunstrike restores 1 armor segment, and you're pretty much never gunstriking Chaos, or I should say you're gunstriking Chaos significantly less than you are gunstriking Tyranids. So you just feel like you're being like walled in by Chaos, as like the soul cannons rip you apart. If you get caught by a soul cannon on this class, you just get shit on. That's really the best way to put it. Even with Unyielding Oath will not save you versus a soul cannon if you like get up off the ground too slowly, because this only starts functioning when you're in the air, and really your only true damage reduction is using like the inherent damage reduction of low HP with Fortitude or Scramble Targeting. And without these two perks, especially without this one, I've used both of these on like a solo Chaos run. This one does make a difference. He still struggles, but really you're just an execute monkey. That's the best way to put it. So I'm kind of curious to see what other people could come up with. I have seen some people talk about him getting a perk like Sniper's Purification, where manually activating Camo Cloak removes negative status effects and restores all contested health. If his jump pack did this, like you get all your contested HP back upon going into the air, maybe not like a jump pack dash, but like if you go into the air for a ground pound, you get all your contested HP recovery and you're invulnerable in the air or something, that would make him pretty damn good. And really, the amount of buffs that this guy would need to be OP are so tremendous that like I don't understand what we're tiptoeing around here, to be honest. I only know what Saber is doing with this guy, because all of these classes, like Heavy is fucking broken. This class is so goddamn strong. This class can solo hard siege mode all the way up to like wave 24, and he doesn't even die. He just gets timed out. Same thing with things like Bulwark. Well, Bulwark struggles a little bit more than Heavy on siege mode, but the point is that like things like Sniper, they are incredible at surviving. They dish out tremendous damage. They have no problem spamming out constant Melt-A-Bombs. This guy has to give up his secondary range damage to use a Melt-A-Bomb, and Melt-A-Bomb spam is so important that like this perk might as well not exist in siege mode unless you're playing with other people, and you're pretty much just spamming consecutive execution. And unfortunately, the meta for him is like 2 options. And that's really what I'm trying to get at here, is that it's just they've left him behind. They don't care to give him proper buffs. His build path is so limited. His signature perks suck, and like his team perks like Squad Cohesion and Strategic Strikes, and like this perk is better than Squad Cohesion, but like these perks just suck so much ass compared to Proven Efficiency for him. And even then, 30% more Gunstrike damage, it's just not that good of a team perk. It just feels like some of these need to be moved around. Some of them need to be reworked entirely. I know I sound a little frustrated, but it's because I have hundreds of hours playing the Assault class, and he is really fun in this game. It's just that he's just unnecessarily difficult to play versus Chaos, and there are a lot of ways they could fix him without giving him HP recovery like the Vanguard does. I say just fix his contested HP. That would be like the first thing I would do with him, is give him some proper survivability, because every other melee class has survivability because they need it, because they don't have ranged weapons, at least not primary ranged weapons. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I've seen some pretty good suggestions before. I know it's a little bit rambly here, but you know, I'm kind of annoyed with how bad the Assault class is versus Chaos, to be frank, and I want to know what you guys think too. So let me know in the comments below, and as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace.